With only a pen, you can create stunning hand-drawn patterns in your sketchbook. Today, I'll show you how to draw 3 super satisfying mark-making patterns. If you're looking for easy sketchbook ideas, you're in the right place. All you need to follow along is a pencil, a few pens, and a sketchbook or blank paper. These patterns are inspired by my new ebook, The Mark-Making Starter Kit. You can check it out at the link below the video. For this first pattern, we're going to draw reflected shapes. This is an easy way to create an intricate pattern from one basic shape. I'm starting by drawing vertical lines lightly with a pencil. Instead of measuring, I'm just using the width of this little ruler. I'm going to use a soft brush pen to create leaf shapes. To build this pattern, we're going to make a pattern within a pattern. I started on one side of the pencil line and drew a cluster of 3 leaves. So 1 leaf going straight out and 2 going diagonal. Then I repeated that same pattern down the line. Now on the other side of the pencil line, I'm drawing the reflection or mirror image of that pattern. I think I'm also going to fill in this empty space with another leaf right on top of the pencil line. That helps connect everything together. I'm going to do the same thing on the next pencil line, but I'm going to shift the pattern down so the straight leaf lines up in the middle with the 2 diagonal leaves from the previous row. From there, I'll build out the same pattern and draw the reflection on the other side of the line. I'm going to continue that until I fill up the entire page. Oops, I just messed up the pattern. I drew that leaf in the wrong position. It's okay. Instead of trying to fix it, I'm going to ignore it and finish making the rest of the pattern. If this was an art journal, I could use something to cover up that part of the page, or if I wanted to use this pattern for collage paper, I would just rip off that part. Leaving mistakes in my mark-making sketchbook is also a good reminder to slow down and focus if I want to recreate this pattern. You can create reflected patterns like this with any shape. If you need more shape ideas, grab the mark-making prompts worksheet below the video. It has 30 shapes to get you started. For the next pattern, we're going to draw snakes. The Mark-Making Starter Kit has 6 variations of this exercise. Today, I want to show you how to draw graduated snakes. We're going to start with a pencil guideline again, but this time, let's make it curvy. Draw a big squiggle across the page, then draw more curvy lines to fill in the rest of the page. But don't allow the lines to touch or get too close together. I'm going to use my 1.5mm bullet tip pen to draw ovals for this pattern. Start by drawing your shape perpendicular to the guideline. I like to start big, the biggest I want my shape in the finished pattern. Then I'm going to continue drawing ovals, but I'm going to make each one slightly smaller than the last. Once I get to my smallest oval, I'll start increasing the size gradually. I'm keeping the ovals centered over the pencil guideline and pivoting them to follow the curves. Okay, I finished that first line and it looks really cool. On the next line, I'm gonna repeat the same thing, gradually increasing and decreasing the size of my ovals. I'm gonna start with a small oval right here where it's closest to the other line. Then I'll gradually increase the size of ovals from there. Just by varying the size of the shape, we created a really interesting pattern. Like I said, there's 6 different variations of this snake exercise in the mark making starter kit. And you can create these snakes with any shape. So every time you're going to create a unique and interesting pattern. That's the beauty of mark making. You can learn some basic pattern ideas like this and then change out the shape to create an entirely different pattern. For the next pattern, we're going to create a page full of concentric rings of marks. This creates a really beautiful visual texture. Start with 2 circles in the middle of the page. You can draw these with a compass or a circle template or just trace something circular. You can use whatever pen you like to create the marks for this pattern. Unlike the last pattern where we outlined and filled in the shape, I recommend letting the pen do the work here. Use the nib to create the shape in one motion. I'm going to use my soft chisel pen to create small square marks. You can also try a bullet tip to make dots or a brush tip to make leaf shapes. Start making marks around the first circle. You can start anywhere on the circle and go all the way around. Then create another ring of marks around that one. Make 3 or 4 rings of marks. Then move to the other circle. Do the same thing until the 2 patterns meet in the middle. Use your pencil to draw another circle near the first 2 and draw rings of marks around it. This pattern is really relaxing and meditative to draw. Continue randomly adding circles and making rings of marks, letting the circular patterns collide. You can continue the pattern off the edge of the page, or you can leave some white space like I did on this other side. This pattern is super simple, but looks very complex when it's finished. It draws your eye around the page to look at each individual mark. These 3 patterns are just a fraction of the ideas you'll get inside the Mark Making Starter Kit. For more inspiration and how-tos, get your copy of the Mark Making Starter Kit at the link below the video. If you want to learn more about how to start a mark making sketchbook, including a look inside some of my sketchbooks and the supplies I use, watch my How to Start Mark Making video next.